Greetings, train simulation enthusiasts everywhere. This is a demonstration of my new Northeast Corridor safety system simulation for open rails and the classic NEC V4 route. The project homepage is in the description. We are at Washington Union Station in this ACSES Express, which will be taking to Baltimore, with one intermediate stop at BWI Airport. Amtrak uses two safety systems on the NEC: Automatic Train Control, or ATC, which enforces signal speed limits, and the Advanced Civil Speed Enforcement System, or ACSES, which enforces permanent speed limits. You may be familiar with these systems if you've ever played the Northeast Corridor route for Train Sim World, but with all due respect to Dovetail Games, their implementation has some known issues. For example, this code drop from clear to approach would never happen under normal circumstances when approaching Penn Station. That forced penalty break shouldn't happen either. With open rails, we can script our own safety systems using locomotives and routes that were originally built for Microsoft Train Simulator. The source code for my simulation is publicly available on GitHub, so if I went wrong somewhere, you can let me know, and even submit a patch if you have C# programming skills. Okay, let's set off. This is the standard ACSES Express cab that came with Microsoft Train Simulator, but the cab signal and speed limit displays on the bottom right are being driven by the script's logic. The aspect display shows the status of the block the train is currently occupying, while the speed limit shows the lower of the two speeds provided by ATC and ACSES. We currently have a clear signal, which means the signal speed limit is 125 miles per hour, while a permanent or civil speed limit is 35 miles per hour around Union Station. So, this display shows 35 miles per hour. The ACSES system provides a warning when the train exceeds the current speed limit, and if the engineer does not slow the train, ACSES applies a penalty brake. When the train reaches a higher speed limit, ACSES, unlike the track monitor, presents the new speed immediately. It is the engineer's responsibility not to increase the speed until the rear of the train has passed the speed post. As the train approaches a lower speed limit, ACSES calculates two braking curves, the alert curve and the penalty curve. If the train exceeds the alert curve, the new speed limit is presented on the speed limit display, and the system begins counting down the time to penalty, or the estimated time until the train reaches the penalty brake curve. If the train violates the penalty brake curve, the penalty brake is immediately applied, and can be released when the train reaches the new, lower speed. In a real Amtrak cab, the time to penalty is shown on its own display, but you only get one in open rail, so I improvised with a pop-up. ACSES can also enforce a positive stop in advance of a stop signal. There is a less favorable signal coming up, which means it's time to explain ATC. This signal is approach limited, which is now reflected by the aspect display as the train enters the next signal block. The engineer needs to acknowledge the downgrade and place the brakes into suppression until the train slows to the new signal speed of 45 miles per hour. If the engineer does not slow the train within 6 seconds, ATC applies a penalty brake that can be released when the train reaches the new signal speed. For the remainder of this video, I'll show how the train interacts with ATC and ACSES during its final approach to Baltimore Penn Station. There is that alert curve we saw earlier for the upcoming 75 mile per hour speed limit. The script inserts a code change point halfway to the next signal. The next signal is approach, so the cab signal downgrades to approach limited. acknowledging the downgrade to approach. The MARC train ahead of us is clearing the upcoming signals. In a moment, our cap signals will reflect this. An approach medium cap signal for a limited clear aspect. Now clear of the interlocking. Alert curve for the 30 mile per hour speed limit because I was late braking. And welcome to Baltimore. There's that MARC train we've been following.